Welcome everybody to the Thursday night X39 launch Zoom event. You guys, we are Carl and Kathy Firestone, Senior Presidential Directors from Winter Garden, Florida, and we're so happy you joined us tonight and excited to share with you. We have big guest on tonight, a friend of ours and former NFL Great Big Mike McCoy. Mike, we can't wait to hear your story, and you're going to bless a lot of people tonight. Mike is a new director in the business. So, Mike, great job. He's sharing it with love in his heart and smile on his face to a lot of people. So, amazing job. And again, welcome to all our guests, especially guys. You're in for a treat. And thanks for joining us. Kathy and I would like to go to our screen share and go ahead and pull up this flip chart slideshow that we have prepared. And Kathy, why don't you share your testimony real quick with everyone?
Sure, happy to. Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome especially to all of our brand new guests that are on tonight. We are going to be talking about this amazing little technology, technology called X39. And before we get started, it's important to make a little disclaimer because we want to protect what we have. So that is that X39 does not heal, treat, cure, mitigate any disease, illness, syndrome. Basically what it does in its simplest terms is it puts your body in a natural reboot, and then your body can do what we believe God intended all of our bodies to do, and that is heal itself. So we are really excited that you're here tonight. My testimony on X39, there are a number of them. The first thing I noticed about 10 days in, maybe even a few days less than that, about 7 to 10 days, is that my energy levels went through the roof. I didn't need coffee in the afternoon any longer. I didn't need a nap. It was 11 o'clock at night and I was still going strong. And if any of you know me, you know by 9 o'clock, this girl's ready to check out. So the fact that I was up and moving and grooving until 11 was pretty awesome. So that energy, and it's not a jittery energy, it's a peaceful, sustained energy is the best way I can describe it. Peaceful, sustained energy. And then the biggest testimony that I have is that I have been dealing with chronic pain in my left hip for a couple of years, actually. And it was starting to really concern me to the point where I was ready to go see an orthopedic doctor. And thankfully, I was getting ready to see an orthopedist, and thankfully, Steve and Gina Merritt called us last end of June in 2022, so almost 2 years ago now, and said, hey, Carl and Kath, what do you know about stem cells? And we didn't know a whole lot. We knew that people got injections. We knew they were expensive. We knew that oftentimes, actually 30 to 40% of the time, they don't work. Those stem cells are not your own. They come from questionable sources. A lot of times people have to travel outside of the United States to get those injections. And there's no money back guarantee, right? So if they don't work, oh well, so sorry for you. And so Steve said, well, I found something. And, I'm so grateful that he called us, because about 4 months, no, it wasn't that long, 5 weeks, 6 weeks after wearing X39, I used to wake up every morning in pain. And I remember waking up at 5:30. And again, for those of you that know me, I don't get up at 5:30 for anything. But I was up at 5:30, jumping up and down because...
Which means I was up at 5:30.
Right.
And wondering what in the world was going on. You guys, she sprung out of bed like a loaded spring. It was pretty funny. And I was like, what in the world is wrong with you? And she's jumping up and down like a teenager saying, my hip pain's gone, my hip pain's
gone. My
gone.
hip didn't hurt.
She couldn't wait till 7:30. She had to, right?
No, I was really excited.
It was pretty incredible.
And the pain has never come back. And so again, the patch didn't take that pain away. The patch helped my body heal itself. Yes. So we're excited tonight. So there's the question of the evening. Have you been patched yet? If you're brand new tonight, please get with the person that invited you and make sure that you get your patch. And then hopefully by the end of this presentation, you're going to pick your package, get your patches coming to you so that you can feel as amazing as we do. Because what we want is to hear your story, your testimony, what X39 is going to do for you. So again, welcome.
Yes, great job. You guys, David Schmidt, we're so honored, truly honored, and excited to be a part of, to be a brand partner in Lifewave and representing David's company. He is the CEO and inventor of X39, and he personally holds well over 130 patents now. He actually lost out after 130. He is a true scientist and inventor. He's won many global awards for that, and just a very wonderful human being and smart scientist. So we're just blessed to know him and represent his company. He specializes in age reversing, and I'm nearing 60. And when I heard age reversing, I thought, man, is that even possible? It's more than possible, you guys. It is happening. So as we age, we want to feel better, right? We don't want to slow down and be all racked with pain and issues. And David's specialty is that, right? In 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research. And a recent patent on X39 took him 10 years and $4.5 million to get this secured through the U.S. Patent Office, you guys. And I would encourage you, go to Google. You can go to our This Is It info site too and read that patent and print off the first page. It is remarkable. We have over 16 more years to go on that patent, which means protection and exclusivity. There's a copy of it, and no one else can do what we do. And it's so interesting. Not only this is a wonderful product that we can share with loved ones, neighbors, families, friends, but there's an opportunity that's associated with it, and it can be very lucrative.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know, as a businessman, lifelong entrepreneur, that this opportunity is protected by a patent, and we can go out there with confidence and not have to worry about hordes of competitors diluting the marketplace. And I got excited about that when Steve shared with that. And something else you guys need to know about Steve, when he called a couple years ago, he had been a pro athlete for 25 years. And he had 14 major surgeries throughout that career. And he was beat up. And he would always be taking handfuls of Advil and Excedrin all the time. And when he made that initial call to us, he said, you guys, 2 weeks in, and he's off all the Advil and Excedrin, and he has zero pain. And he said, Carl, more importantly, two of my friends that were also pro athletes were hooked on narcotics, painkillers, and they've been on the patch X39 for 2 weeks. They were off all of the painkillers. They had no side effects, no withdrawals, and both of them are pain-free. And I thought, man, Steve, I've got some aches and pains, and how much is this? This sounds expensive. And he goes, Carl, it's a cup of coffee a day, $3.37, includes shipping and handling.
I don't know where you're buying coffee, but that's less than a cup of coffee a day. We all know people that are spending double, triple that a day on coffee.
So the patent, you guys, is incredible. The abstract in the patent really sums it up, and it says embodiments as a result of elevating your copper peptide, which is what X39 does, including activation of your own stem cells, improvements in energy, and elevation of antioxidants, and reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevates your own collagen production. That's a big deal in and of itself, big deal, and improved wound healing.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty remarkable. Right?
Kathy said I got to get my act together and learn a little bit more about the product, and so I'm giving it my level best.
I love that. You're doing awesome.
Go ahead.
So why would anyone want to wear this technology? And that's what this is. This is technology in this little tiny wafer thin sticker. And if you're like me, when these came in the mail, I looked at Carl and laughed and said, there is no way this is going to do anything.
You actually said, you have got to be kidding me. I think I recall, right? So
here's me eating grow, right, saying I was wrong. This technology is nothing short of remarkable, miraculous, pick your adjective, any and all apply.
That's pretty.
So the reality is that the fewer stem cells we have, the slower we heal and the faster we age. And that hundreds of millions of us all over the globe are experiencing these symptoms of aging. Like Carl said, feeling sluggish, wounds taking longer to heal, low energy, aches and pains, not sleeping well, you name it. So what we didn't know 2 years ago, but we've learned on this journey, is that by age 30, half of the stem cells that we are born with go dormant. And by age 60, almost 100% of them are dormant. So the good news is they're still there. The not so good news is they're not working for you or for us any longer until this amazing technology.
Yes. You guys remember when we were little, we were all, and it seems not so long ago, right? We fell, scraped our knee, and it seemed like within hours to a day or two, you couldn't even find out where the scrape on your knee was. It was because as children, we're loaded with stem cells. Our first cell was a stem cell.
Right.
And they can become any organ in the body, blood, tissue, eyes, hair, all that. It's just incredible. So I am learning more, and it's just fascinating that something so easy and affordable can do what this does. So
yeah, really?
Yeah.
So how does it work, right? That's what you're all wanting to know. It's certainly what we wanted to know as we're looking at this sticker, right? So this is a proprietary form of phototherapy. It's light therapy, which has been around and used for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years. The best analogy is what happens when we as human beings go out into direct sunlight. Our bodies harness the energy from the sun, a chemical reaction takes place internally, and our own vitamin D levels are elevated. That's light therapy. This works in a similar way, except we don't need an external energy source like the sun. Why? Because we all emit heat and light 24/7. Think of the last war movie you saw, where hopefully it was the good guys with the night vision goggles, and they could see the bad guys in the pitch black of night. Why? Because we're all emitting that low-level infrared light all of the time, and that's what those night vision goggles pick up on. So what David has done brilliantly is taken that concept and applied it to a wearable non-transdermal patch. Non-transdermal simply means nothing enters your skin. No pharmaceuticals, no chemicals, no stimulants, no drugs, no nutrition, nothing. In the center of this patch, which you just peel the paper off, it's kind of like a Band-Aid. Stick it anywhere. We always recommend
stick it where it hurts.
Stick it where it hurts, or stick it where somebody's going to see it, because inevitably they'll say, "What is that? Did you hurt yourself?" "Nope, that's my stem cell reactivation patch." And they'll look at you and go, "You're what?" And it's a perfect way to start a conversation, right? Because they want to feel as good as you do. So what's in the center of that patch, in that more opaque circle, is a patented nanocrystal technology. Now, don't let the word nanocrystal panic you. It kind of did me at first. I thought, crystal, I don't know. Basically, nano means really, really tiny. And it's a crystalline structure. David describes it as a lattice, okay? And it's organic amino acids, sugars, salts, oxygen, all from organic plants in a very specific configuration. So when you peel the paper off and you put this on your skin, the light from your body leaves your body, hits that crystalline structure, which acts like a really sophisticated mirror. And it reflects a certain wavelength and frequency of your own light back into your tissue. When that happens, your copper peptide naturally rises. And one of the amazing side effects of elevating your copper peptide is that it reactivates your own dormant stem cells.
So
Amazing.
If you guys haven't picked up on this yet, she is the beauty and the brains behind this operation. So that was amazing. That was amazing. Great job.
It's pretty fantastic.
So here's a short list of the benefits of X39. Increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, energy and vitality, mental clarity, restored muscle or skeletal conditions. That's a big one. Improvement of sleep. That's another big one. And improvement in skin appearance. You guys, our son, 24 years old, he had horrible cystic acne. Horrible. And I mean, it was very deep, inflamed, prominent all over his face, neck, back. He was in pain, and his self-esteem, to say the least, was really suffering. And so one night, recently after we started, we took Luke the patch and said, "Hey, would you like to try this X39?" And he immediately said yes. 5 weeks, you guys. 5 weeks on the patch. Cystic acne, no more.
Gone.
It was incredible.
Yep. We watched that inflammation and those cysts just disappear, and it's never come back.
And he started lifting his chin higher a little bit more each day, smiling a little bigger. And I said, "Luke, watch out, the girls are going to be calling." He felt so much better. And as parents, when your kids are feeling better and happy and joyful, it kind of spills over, doesn't it? So this is all about achieving optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and we like to add spiritual well-being too.
Absolutely. Yeah. Take a look at this.
This one is one of the most powerful slides in the whole show right here.
I think so too. This was what really grabbed my attention. This is something called a topography map, and what it measures is inflammation. So this particular woman is a 77-year-old, and she was a participant in one of the many clinical studies that David and his whole team do on this technology. And she placed the X39 patch at the back of her neck. So the first session, one there on your left, that's her baseline. So that's before she started to patch. Anywhere you see red, those warm colors, that's inflammation. And again, we're specifically looking at her brain in this instance. And so the notation there is under session 1 is, no X39. She hasn't started patching yet. Inflammation in the brain, lack of brain coherence. So her brain is not communicating well with the rest of her body. Check out that middle picture, session 2. This is 3 weeks, not 3 months, not 3 years, 3 weeks wearing X39 every day, persistently, consistently. No more inflammation. The red is completely gone. There's a tiny bit of orange there in the center, much improved brain coherence, and it just gets better. That last picture, session 3, is 6 weeks total on X39. Complete turnaround, better brain coherence. The notes at the bottom indicate that when she came in, her brain was hyperactive, and her brain calmed down dramatically at the second visit, and then remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. And what really grabs me is that this is not just this woman's brain. It's my brain, it's Carl's brain, it's your brain. And it's not just our brains, it's every organ and major system in our bodies. Ask anyone that you know in the medical profession what inflammation does to the body. It is not a good thing. And when you can lower inflammation naturally, amazing things start to happen. So I love that the science behind this technology is rock solid. So David is a scientist. He is a scientist and an inventor. That is who he is. Yes, he's the CEO of this amazing company, but he's a scientist and an inventor at heart. And so there are over 80 clinical studies that have been done on this technology. And right there's the website where you can go and do a deep dive or a shallow walk through those studies if you'd like. It's thisisit.info.com. That's only information on X39. There are 3 videos there. The first one is a short one. The second one is from David himself. The third is from a doctor on our team, Dr. Leland Stillman. Watch those 3 videos, and then you can check out all of those studies. Yep. Oh, don't go yet. These are the long-term results. These are important. This is where things get really interesting, I think. So what happens within the first few days of wearing the patch? 4,000 genes begin to reset. Again, don't panic. Nothing's happening to your DNA. But what happens as we age is that some genes should stay on, but they turn off. And others should turn off, but they stay on. And so when you wear X39, your copper peptide elevates it, and your body naturally resets those genes, 4,000 of them, to a younger, healthier state. So guess what? That means you're going to start feeling younger and healthier. And isn't that what we all want? Interestingly, resveratrol, which a lot of people have heard about, it's been in the news. There's a study out that Dr. Tony Smith, a chiropractor out in California, mentioned in a webinar not too long ago that he had done some research on. Resveratrol, which is the good stuff in dark pigmented fruits and in red wine, is great for heart health. That resets 2 genes. 2. This little baby right here, 4,000 within the first few days. Absolutely remarkable, right? So within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. This is huge. I can't tell you the number of people who say, I don't know, I can't pinpoint anything, but I just feel better. I'm at peace. I have more joy. Couldn't we all use a little more joy in our lives, right? That brain balancing is so, so important. And a lot of people, especially after what we've just endured over the last 4.5 years, are in that brain fog, that lack of mental clarity. And when that comes back, oh my gosh, it's incredible. Within 3 months, your own collagen increases. Carl mentioned this when you first were getting started. This is so important because there's collagen supplements everywhere. It's all over social media. It's all over your grocery store, your health food store. And all of those supplements, it's not your own collagen. It's someone or something else's. This technology, after 3 months, your own collagen increases.
Yeah, and Dr. Leland Stillman, who's actually a specialist, an MD in phototherapy, you guys, this is his deal, right? He has all the expensive equipment, red light therapy, all that. $100,000 red light therapy bed or room. And he says, you can listen to him on This Is It Info, he says that X39 produces better results, markedly better results than any of his $100,000 equipment. So think of that. That's a powerful statement.
Or
because
supplement you can take.
Yeah, that's a powerful statement. And X39 is much more convenient. You don't have to go pay for an expensive machine like that to lay there or stand there for 2 hours. Just put a patch on the back of your neck.
And go about your day.
Go about your day. You're going to get better results per Dr. Stillman.
Yep.
So within 6 months, this is an exciting one as well.
For sure.
I've got a little testimony associated with this. Heart reverses in age. Within 6 months, you guys, clinical study on this. They're measuring all this through blood work, urine, and however the biomarkers in our bodies. And about 6 months in, Kathy noticed on my feet, I'm an old contractor, and I'm on my feet a lot of concrete, many hours a week, and I had developed over the decades hundreds and hundreds of spider veins all over my feet. One night she walks by my chair, I have my feet up, and she paused and she goes, Carl, look at your feet. And I said, what's going on with my feet? And she goes, honey, your spider veins are gone. Gone, you guys.
Crazy.
I mean, I won't show you, but I've got, brand new baby's feet, right? And it really woke me up to like, what is going on here? First of all, I didn't see that happening. I didn't even feel it happening.
Yeah.
So pay attention. When you get with the person that invited you on tonight, get on the patch and do your due diligence as you're wearing the patch and take your time. Be persistent and consistent. And pay attention to your health, what's changing with everything. I mean, your stem cells work on everything, from your hair to your toenails and everything in between, okay? So don't be surprised. And we don't know what it's going to do for you. That's what's so interesting about this. Everybody responds in a different way, but your stem cells intuitively know, right? The Lord programs them, what to become, where to go, what needs attention first.
Yeah.
And so get excited. It's exciting technology. And David, this is his quote at the bottom of the page there. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. David Schmidt, CEO, inventor of X39.
Yeah, pretty exciting. So how do you wear it? It's so easy. Patches come in what we call a sleeve. It looks like this, and in each sleeve are 30 patches, so enough for a person to wear the technology for a full month. So for me, I put this sleeve by my toothbrush on my bathroom vanity, and every morning when I go in and brush my teeth, that's my reminder to pull out a patch, peel that paper off the back, and stick it on. You can wear the patch anywhere. The 2 spots where all of those clinical studies were done to control for variables, of course, were either 2 inches below the belly button or at the base of the back of the neck. So if you're sitting or you're standing and you put your head down, that first vertebrae, you kind of feel jut out, that's where you can put the patch. But again, you can put the patch anywhere. And here's another really big difference between this technology and stem cell injections. When you get an injection, it stays localized to wherever that injection is. If you get it in your shoulder or your hip or your knee, those stem cells that are injected stay right there. This works systemically. That means throughout your entire body. And like Carl said, our stem cells are divinely programmed to know exactly where to go, exactly where your weakest link is. So being persistent and consistent with patching is really important. We'll talk about that more here in a moment. So what happens after you wear the patch all day? You go back in at night, hopefully, and you're brushing your teeth before you go to sleep, right? That's my reminder to pull that patch off that I've worn for 12 hours, throw it away, rest, let my body do all the incredible things we were created to do while we sleep. And the next morning when I go in to brush my teeth, you get a fresh patch out, put it on, you do the whole thing all over again. It's really important to be well hydrated. The better hydrated we are, the more effective this technology is going to be. So the recommendation is half of your body weight in ounces in good clean water every single day. And then add a high quality electrolyte to that because we need those trace minerals, potassium, magnesium. That again is going to make the patch work much more effectively. So back to just for a second on being persistent and consistent. David says that for every decade old we are, we need to wear X39 for 1 month per decade in order to get the full benefit of wearing the patch. So if you're 60, that means 6 months minimum of consistent, persistent patching before you're going to notice full benefit. Now, most people will notice a benefit well before that 6 month mark, but for some, it takes a while. My mom is a perfect example. My mom is a retired RN. She was a nurse for 47 years. She was very skeptical, but she trusts her daughter and her son-in-law. And so when we started wearing the patch, she's the first person that I called because she had chronic knee pain and was contemplating a knee replacement surgery. And so she diligently put the patch on, and she would call me weekly and say, Kath, my knee still hurts. And I would say, I know, Mama, just keep patching. Just keep patching, right? Kind of like Dory and Nemo, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep patching, Mama. And she did. And then about 4 months in, I got the call one morning, and she was giddy and said, guess what? My knee doesn't hurt anymore. And I said, yay, hallelujah.
This is huge, you guys. Listen to that. She avoided total knee replacement because she was patient and persistent for $3.37 a day. We don't know if that's going to happen for you. We can't claim that, make any medical claims or anything. So, but my goodness, wouldn't it be worth a try? You better believe it.
But what I heard too is that, Mom, I'm so glad that your knee's not hurting anymore. But I'm also glad for whatever your stem cells were working on for these 4 months that we've been waiting for your knee pain to get better. Because something else was going on that she may not know about. And actually we do know because she shared with me, this was just about 6 weeks ago. 2 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus. Don't know if you're familiar with that. It's basically inflammation and lesions in the esophagus caused by severe gastric esophageal reflux. And so they were watching it, and she's been patching almost as long as we have now, so almost 2 years. And she went for her repeat endoscopy a couple of months ago, and she called us crying because there was no evidence of
Zero evidence.
Hallelujah, praise God. That's what we did first, right? And that's what my mom said. She's like, praise God and thank you, X39 and David Schmidt, right? Again, this patch did not heal that. Her body healed itself.
You guys,
that's the power of what we have.
Isn't it amazing? People are coming off medications too, through their doctor's orders, right, and recommendations. Those medications that have side effects this long. I mean, some of those side effects, you read through those, you're like, man, should I take the medication? I mean, look, the cure is worse than the problem, right? So this is special, you guys. It's so sophisticated, yet it's so simple to explain and share. You just put the patch on and it works. It elevates your stem cell activity, and remarkable things happen in the body.
Yeah.
The testimonies of X39, like you just heard, are life-changing and emotional. We can't wait to hear yours And the best thing about X39 is it absolutely works. So now is a good time to go ahead and have Mike McCoy join us. I got to look up Mike here and make him co-host. So bear with me as I do that. But you guys, the testimonies, you can build an incredible business just on the testimonies alone, and Mike is doing that. He's got an incredible story to share. I can't wait to get him loaded up here. But I'll keep talking as we're looking for Mike. Guess what? I had migraines, you guys, for 50 years. Every single week, I would have a migraine. It knocked me out for the entire day. Okay, and this was about 6-7 months in on X39 for me. And I told Kathy, I said, honey, guess what? I think these migraines are loosening up in intensity and frequency. And sure enough, you guys, after another month or so after that, no more migraines. And that was over 6 months. Okay, so you do have to be patient and persistent.
Yep.
But I feel like I get an extra day a week.
2 days a week.
Yeah, it's incredible.
The headache day and the aftermath day is what we called it.
Tell everybody your background, Mike, and good to the patch.
I grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania. Went to Cathedral Prep High Schools and all boys Catholic school in Erie, Pennsylvania. Started playing football my sophomore year and had the opportunity to, because of my mentor Tony Zambrowski, had the opportunity to go to the University of Notre Dame and play under Eric Parsegan and graduate from high school in 1966. So you can do the math and see how old I am. But I feel younger every week, and had the opportunity to play 11 years in the National Football League. 7 with the Green Bay Packers, and that was kind of the transition. Vince died my rookie year, and he was already in Washington. A lot of you young people never heard of that, but some of you old folks know about the Packer history. And I played 7 years with Green Bay and had the opportunity to be traded and went to the Oakland Raiders and played for John Madden for 2 years. That was the epitome of my professional sports, to see how a professional team is really run. Then my last 2 years with the New York Giants. And I've experienced many injuries in the National Football League and playing football and just being active. And I've had 18 surgeries, probably 13 of them are football related. I've had every joint replaced, my knees, 3 hips, and my shoulders in the last five years. So I'm blessed to have that because I can get around and I'm not in a wheelchair like some of my friends are. But I've been in pain, most of my life. And so I look back at it, I kind of look at this analogy. In 1971, I was reborn again spiritually. And that was through a couple of friends of mine, the late Bart Starr and Carol Dale, who invited me to the chapel program in the National Football League. I think I'm like a lot of people, maybe on this Zoom call, went to church all the time, know who God was, know who Jesus Christ was, try to be good, and I failed many times. And getting pretty frustrated with my faith, and a lot of my friends at Notre Dame were the same way. And other different faiths that I faced and that I got to know people. And through that chapel program in the National Football League, I came to know and understand what a personal relation with Jesus Christ was all about. And that light bulb went off for me. And I listened to that for about a year and understood that, I needed to make a choice and get off the fence. And I did that in June of 1971 at an FCA camp. And when I finally understood that God loved me unconditionally, and that my performance was not based upon his love for me, and it was unconditional. That was a light bulb for me. And I went back in my faith, and it became alive, and I've been involved in that for a long time. And so this past 8 months, I kind of look at it this way. I've been reborn physically because of the X39 patch. And when Joe called me, I was a little taken back because when he called me, he said, "Mike, I'm not in pain anymore." "Come on, Joe." He says, "No." I said, "Well, what's the deal?" And I've known Joe for a while. And, we've been through, my generation's been through a lot of network marketing. And so when he told me it was network marketing, I'm going to be very frank here. I turned it off. I said, I'm not interested. I don't have time. I'm in the ministry full time. I have Mike McCoy Ministries, and my mission statement now is to reach students in Catholic schools with a message of faith, hope, and encouragement. We've been doing that for many years, and it's very rewarding for me. And God has opened that door because of my platform that He's given me through Notre Dame NFL. It has nothing to do with me. It's all about God and the Holy Spirit. But as he started talking about this patch that was patented, I said, okay, I understand science. And he kind of explained, and I was on a call with Carl, and he started talking about these copper peptides and all this stuff. And I said, okay, I'm not a scientist. I have a degree in economics, but don't let that fool you. I can't balance my checkbook. So I got a list, and I said, okay, I'll try. And so I got the patches. I went for the diamond thing because I figured, what the heck, I'm going to need this stuff for a long time because I'm old. And Dave Schmidt says you need for every month, 10 years for every month. So I'm 7 months or 8 months. So I went for the diamond patch and got the patch, and I started wearing them. And my experience was kind of different than a lot of people. I actually got into pain more. And after about a month of the patch, my wrist was killing me. I had a lump on my wrist, and I had a ganglion cyst. My body was hurting, because I'm very active and I lift weights. I've lost a lot of weight the last 3 years. I'm around 305 pounds now. Played around 285, and I was playing pickleball before the patch, and that was pretty tough for me to get around. But I was doing it because I wanted to stay active. I want to go out in this life with feet first, not on a wheelchair first. And Lord willing, that will happen. And so the first 3 months, it was like my body was going through withdrawal, and a lot of pain. And I was going to a chiropractor and trigger point therapist. It wasn't helping. But I kept at it because, Joe says, and Carl, you said, and Rich and Ginger. And, I do want to give a shout out to Ginger, Rich's wife, because she is incredible. And she's helped a lot of my downlines. So we talk about this team concept. And so after about 4 months, after about 3 months, after about 2 months, I just put the patch. I didn't know what to do. So I took the patch off my neck and I stuck it right on my wrist. And there was a lump there about 2 inches, and I had a ganglion cyst. And I just kept it on there for 2 days. So I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm going to tell you, after 2 days, the pain was gone. That was about a month and a half. So that's why I kind of stuck at it. And I'm going to tell you now, after 6 months, there's no lump, no ganglion cyst. And then all of a sudden, after my 4th or 5th month, the pain started to ease. I haven't been to a chiropractor in 5 or 6 weeks. I do like the trigger point therapist. I'm going to Myrna. She's also using the patch. And the pain was about 90% less right now. And I was in a lot of pain. And I'm just amazed at it. And a lot of people look at me and say, Mike, you're looking younger. And about 5 weeks ago, I went to Legacy Weekend at University of Notre Dame. And Coach Freeman, the very first coach in Notre Dame history to invite the old guys back for a weekend. It's during the spring game. And we get a chance to meet with the team on Friday. And I was there last year. I was the same weight, lifting weights. And the only difference was I've been wearing the patch for like 8 months. And everybody came up and said, Mike, you're walking better. You look better. And I said, well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I've gotten that many, many times. And as some of you have done the math, I'm 75 years old. And my pickleball days are better. And I've been playing with a group of 65 and older in my little subdivision here. And before the patch, I played maybe 1 or 2 games. I had to sit down. I was so tired and in pain. As the patch started to work, after about 5 months, my energy level exploded. I said, wow. I mean, it was so noticeable. It was noticeable to the guys that I played with. We have a 65 and up group, and I'm the oldest guy. And now I'm playing 2 hours every Monday and Wednesday. And a lot of these guys say, Mike, what did you do? I said, I just been wearing this patch, the X39. So I got like 4 or 5 of them on the patch. Unfortunately, there's like 8 or 9 guys, and the other guys didn't do it, but I don't know why. I have no idea why people don't even use this patch. And so my story is pain-free. When I heard David Schmidt talk about age reversal, I said, I could think maybe slowing the age process down a little bit. But I'm telling you, I'm starting to believe it. And, I know I'm not going to leave this earth alive, that's for sure. But at least I know where I'm going. But now the quality of life is outstanding. And a couple other things that happened to me is, I don't know if you can see it online, but I'm getting some brown hair coming in on my eyelids. And I go to a barbershop, and she been cutting my hair for the last 4 or 5 months. And she said about 3 months ago, she said, Mike, the little bald spot you have on the top, it's getting dull. And I said, that's not good. She goes, no, that's good. I said, why? She said, it means your hair's going to grow. I said, really? And she knows that I was on the patch. And which reminds me, I can get back to her. Let me write myself a little note here. And so 3 weeks ago, I went back in. She goes, Mike, you have hair on the patch. You got this brown spot coming in. Your hair is fuller, and people have been noticing that. So it's really helped my quality of life, and I'm very, very busy because I do travel a lot. And this fall, and I sent out a lot of emails. I said, this X39 is going to help me to stay in my ministry because physically it's very draining to travel and to speak in front of hundreds and hundreds of students and read the cards and get back. And those times in the fall and the spring when I do that, it's very, very physically taxing. But now I feel that I can do it for a long time. And so I thank God for that. I met Bob Glasso. He's a Major League Baseball player, pitched 3 years in the majors for the Seattle, Milwaukee, and Seattle, three teams once, and Milwaukee once. And I met Bob, we said about 40 years ago. And it was through a conference called Pro Athletes Outreach. And that's a conference that's a ministry to pro athletes and their wives to learn how to live their lives according to godly principles. It's not very well known. It's been around for 52 years. And I was involved in the process in the early 70s in helping do that through Athletes in Action. And now it's a stand-up ministry by itself for many, many years. And so we met Bob then, and I kind of knew him, and we lost contact for, a long time. 6 weeks ago, I saw him at a golf tournament in Helen, Georgia, and I looked at him, I said, I know that guy. And came out of the car, he's coming out of the hotel, and we say, Mike, it's Bob Glasso. I said, my goodness. And we started to chit-chat. We had maybe about a 5-minute encounter. And he said, Mike, you look great. I said, I appreciate that. And I said, I'm just taking this X39 patch. And I handed him a little card, and I said, I'll get a hold of you in a couple of weeks. He's going on vacation, so I called him. He says, yeah, I want to get on. So I sent him the patch, and about 2 weeks ago, he called me. He says, Mike, what have you done to me? And I felt, okay, what have I done to this guy? What happened? He goes, my energy level is exploding. He says, I haven't played golf in 7 or 8 years. He gave his golf clubs away. He went out and bought new golf clubs. He's on the range hitting them now. He detailed his car. He's lifting weights. The pain in his shoulders is gone. The pain in his knees is gone. He gets up a little bit in the morning. He's a little bit stiff, but that kind of goes away. And he told us last night, we were at a meeting in Dallas, Georgia, and that was great meeting all those folks out there under Diane Guzman's group. And he said he was standing in line, I think this week, for his shoulder appointment, and he just walked away. He said, I don't need it anymore. So he's very, very enthused about it. And so it's encouraging to hear those testimonies like we've all heard. And I just know something. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm helping people physically. I've helped a lot of people spiritually. God has used me with that. But now physically, it's just amazing. And when you start to help people physically, everything comes into place. And I'm not in it for the money. God has just placed me here. And I'm more of an ambassador. I'm more of a facilitator. And I've been telling a lot of people. I've told hundreds of people, and I can't believe I don't have 500 customers. Like Dr. Peck says, we'll try it. But people are people. And so the ones who have tried it have done very, very well with it. And so I'm very grateful and thankful for that. And thank the team for helping me out. So I appreciate it very much.
Wow. Great.
Okay, we're done. That's all.
It's
See
over.
this hair? It's still there.
That's amazing.
Oh, my hands, too. I forgot about my hands. I don't know if you can see these hands. They're pretty well deformed. I played in the league where there was no rules. And, I don't know if you all know who Dick Buckus is, but he could not play in today's league. They kick him out. And so it was a very, very brutal league back then. And I have arthritis in my hands. I can't do anything about the deformity, but I'm telling you, the arthritis is gone. And my whole body was riddled with arthritis, even though I have joints all over the place. And one of the things in my will is that I'm willing each one of my parts from my body, so they can have me on forever. One of my steaks and stuff.
Oh, that's great. Wow, that's powerful. Best one yet. Best one yet.
Thank you so much, Mike, for your time and your...
It takes time. It's 5 or 6 months for me. I've had people say, I don't feel it. It's been on 2 weeks, They all want this feeling. We're in this feeling society. Well, faith is believing in things that are unseen. Well, the faith with X39 is seen because we have David Schmidt, the inventor. We know he's been around for 20 years. And that's always been a big thing with me with network marketing. Who's behind the scene? And I believed Joe, and I looked at it, and I believed you guys. And, that's why I took that step in faith, knowing that the research was there. And reading people's testimonies, I said, there's got to be something to this. So faith is believing in what is not seen, but faith with X39 is seen. The proof is there. So it's like Dr. Peck says, he doesn't know why everybody's not on this. And there are some pro athletes that are starting, and So it's just been really interesting to me, and very exciting to meet a group of people. And I'm getting booked for the fall, so that's exciting with the schools. I just booked a all-boys Catholic school in Miami, Florida. There's 1,800 of them. And I was talking with the principal today, and they drug test every one of them. And I said, you do? I said, wow. I was involved in a task force with some president many years ago. Congress wanted us to come up with how do we solve this drug problem in our country? And of course, number one is spiritual. We all know that, but Congress doesn't know that, and general public doesn't understand that. So we came up. There were athletes in there. There were coaches. There were administrators. And so we were there for like 4 or 5 days in Washington, D.C. Congress paid for all this stuff. We're in a room 10 hours, 12 hours a day. So we came up with recommendations to Congress. And I wish I could remember what president was under, because, it's probably about 10 or 15 years ago. What doesn't matter. And one of the things we came up with is drug testing. And so we threw all this stuff to Congress, and they said thank you, and they never enacted not one of our recommendations. And that's the government for you, And so this school, they drug test. I said, let me ask you something. I said, how did the parents take it? I mean, this is 1,800 all-boys school. And he says they love it until their son gets caught. They do it by hair. And he said, but it's only 2 or 3 guys every year. I said, you're kidding me. He goes, no. And he says, if you don't pass the drug test first time, you go into a group, whatever group that is that this young person is involved with, whatever drug, alcohol, crack, it's all out there. We know that. They get the second one is the more intense. Third one, they're done, and they dismiss them. And I think, wow, even though that may be extreme, but that age group is so bombarded by this crazy culture we're living in that drives me crazy. You got to do this, you got to do this to be accepted. But we are accepted. God has accepted us. He's made us. We're made in His image and likeness. We're made male and female. He has a plan for purpose for our life, and it's not any of those paths. And I talk about the discipline of decisions now versus the regret later on. And anyhow, I'm off my post here. Okay.
Love it.
Okay.
Thank you for your boldness for him and for boldness for sharing X39 too, because everybody needs this, whether or not they think they do or they don't.
That's right. Even young people.
Yes.
Yeah. If you're breathing, you have stem cells, and that means that you need this product. Period.
Exactly.
Right. Period.
Well, thank you again, Mike. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, guys, the This Is It info site that Kathy shared, this is where you want to go to learn all about X39. And as people ask you, this is where you want to send them. Don't feel like you have to know everything in order to share everything. It'll actually slow you down.
Right.
Just patch them and point them to this website. This is also where you're going to find all these wonderful testimonies that you're hearing about, and more are going to be added too. So this is a fairly new site that's up and running now, and as the testimonies come in, they're going to be loaded up in here. But just go in, click on an issue. If you're looking for a specific testimony, they're there.
Yep.
Thisitsitinfo.com.
All right, so we're going to switch gears here. We're going to talk a little bit about this opportunity tied to this patented, amazing technology. Because the reality is we all know a lot of people who are hurting physically, but we also know a ton, maybe more, people who are hurting financially.
Absolutely.
And I mean this with everything in me. This could very well be the answer for both, the answer for the masses. And so Lifewave, the parent company behind X39, is a 20-year-old company. Mike mentioned that. This is the best kept 20-year-old secret you are ever going to find. Because if you went out right now on the street and asked 10 people, hey, have you ever heard of X39? 9.5 of them would say, what? So this is a proven company. It is not a startup, but it is not a saturated market. This is exactly what you want when you're looking at an opportunity. So again, 19-year-old company, actually 20-year-old company this year, 2024 is the 20-year celebration. And they were going along happily at about $20 million a year until the patent for the X39 technology was issued in 2020. Look what happened in 2021. They went from $20 million a year to $320 million in 2022. And then last year we did 430 million.
Hello.
This year, halfway through 2024, we are on track to do 600 million or better, well on our way to $1 billion company.
Can you believe it?
We are open in 75 countries, which means you can have a global business from your smartphone, in your GMEs, from your couch, right? So you may not know someone in Australia, let's say, but someone you know does. And when we're going to bed at night, what are they doing in Australia? They are waking up and they are patching everyone, because it doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter what your nationality is. We all want to feel amazing, right? So global business from your smartphone if you choose to. And what I love about this industry, and you can call it whatever you want. You can call it network marketing. I choose to call it relational marketing, because that's really what it is. This is about relationship building and sharing something that has completely changed our lives physically and financially, knowing that it can do exactly the same thing for you. But in this industry, most, if not all, other companies have what we call a Me Too product. They have skincare, they have supplements, they have weight loss, they have energy drinks. Everyone has those things. And it's really hard to say, well, hey, mine's better than yours when you've got all that competition in the marketplace. Remember, this is patented, and it was patented in 2020, which means we have just under 17 more years of complete exclusivity and protection with that patent, where nobody can do what we're doing. This is not a Me Too product, and that is a game changer. So Carl and I have been married, for those of you that don't know us, 28 years this December.
Wow.
We've been together for 29, that's 29 years of my whole life. And what you may not know about him is that he has been a serious entrepreneur his whole adult life. And in the 29 years we've been together, he's owned 7 different businesses across 4 different sectors. He had 2 global construction companies. He had a small manufacturing company. He's done traditional franchising. And yet I can honestly tell you that this Lifewave opportunity is what he's passionate about and more excited about than any of those other business ventures that he's been involved in. So when he speaks about this, he knows exactly what he's talking about, because he's done conventional business many, many times. And this is what excites him.
Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, you guys, this is powerful, because this business model, you guys, and I didn't know this. I kind of poo-pooed off this industry until I unfolded it, right? Isn't that brilliant? We often do that, right? And there's an acronym for this. It's called POOR, P-O-O-R, passing over opportunity repeatedly, just because we don't know, we have, if there's negative connotations or whatever, we have a mindset about something that I had no idea about. And thank goodness Steve got through to me and said, Carl, you got to unfold this and see what's happening here. And the magic is the compounding residual nature of this business, you guys. It's a level playing field for everyone, okay? A stay-at-home mom, a janitor, a garbage truck driver, NFL players, you name it, multimillionaires, we all have to start at the same place. And that's what I love about this opportunity. It's open to the masses, and it's affordable to the masses. In all those conventional businesses that Kathy shared, I had to come up with a lot of upfront capital, which most people don't have and can't get access to, unfortunately. And the amount of stress that puts on a person and a family to go into debt and to borrow, to mortgage the house, to borrow from family, friends, banks, you name it. It's incredible the amount of stress that puts on you. And in this business, what I love, many things I love about it, but another thing is, as your revenue grows, as your team grows in this opportunity, your overhead stays the same. And unlike conventional business, that is not how that happens. If I wanted to grow my franchise, my sandwich franchise, I had to either bring more customers in the door, get them to buy more product when they got in the door, or I had to open multiple locations. Basically, I bought myself a job in that franchise, okay? And go into more debt and all that, time away from family. So This business model, as you continue to build and share with people, you just share the patch with people and point them to the system.
Yeah.
You get paid off of everybody that comes in after you, whether you know them or not. And that, my friends, is magic. Okay. Yeah. And that's what you need to find I've talked to business owners all the time, and they're so stressed. They have no time. They are in debt up to their eyeballs. 80% of them, you guys, 80% of new businesses fail within 3 years. Yeah. Did you know that? 80%. And marriages right now in our country are suffering. And this is saving marriages and mortgages. That's what we like to say, because it's a very affordable thing to start. You can start for $299, okay? Get on the silver pack, and you can earn up to $25,000 per week. Yeah, that's not a typo. It's per week. And some people get scared by these big numbers, and I understand that. You know, what would $1,000 a week do for your family? That would save a lot of mortgages, you guys, and a lot of marriages too. You guys, it's happening all over the place. In this lousy economy, it's happening. Yeah. So get excited, have an open mindset to what's happening here. And basically what you do is you come in, you get on a pack, gold pack or diamond pack is what we recommend. And you bring in 2 people on your left team, 2 people on your right at silver or above, and get them on subscription each month. And that's how the magic starts. And as they bring in people and other people bring in people that you don't even know, you get paid for all that activity. Okay? It's powerful. Yeah. Kathy and I together have put in just over 60 people, and we currently have almost within a couple hundred people of 50,000 people on our team. We don't know 50,000 people, but we're getting to know some of them because they're building massive businesses underneath us. And you guys, I'm telling you, this is magical. This is what people are hoping and praying for. The income's crazy. I won't go into all of it because you wouldn't understand it in just a few minutes anyway, but I'll share a website with you. Go to thisisitteam.com and you'll learn all about it. thisisitteam.com, and click on the compensation plan, and you can learn all the details at your convenience there.
All right, so how do you get started? So the person that invited you tonight may have given you a paper order form, looks like this. You might have gotten texted a link. Either is fine. We want you to get in where you fit in. Pick the package that's right for you. So the silver package is really for our wholesale customers. These are people that just want to try the product. They want to see what X39 can do for them. And silver is a great place to start. So you get 3 sleeves of X39, so that's a 3-month supply. And it's $299.95 plus your shipping and your tax, okay? Remember though, 1 month for every decade old you are is the recommendation. So gold may be a better fit for you. Gold is 5 sleeves of X39. It's $499.95 a month. And that's also where we start with people who see this as a business. Yes, and keep in mind that these package prices, these are one-time purchases. From that point, then you're going to get on monthly subscription, and that's going to be the patches that you consume, that you use every month. So Carl and I are on 2 sleeves of X39 every month, 1 for him, 1 for me. That's our overhead, if you will, like he described in this business. But really it's not, because we're getting the product benefit from this every single month. So I don't even look at it as overhead. But that's, you know, that's really what it is.
She nailed it. $200 a month roughly for our overhead. You guys, we can't make income claims, okay? But what we can share with you is Kathy and I are doing consistently over 5 figures per week. Per week. So do the math, $200 a month, and we can ride that all the way to the top, which we're at the top, right? We're at the top level in the company. We still can't believe it, right? We've just share with people. With love in your heart, smile on your face, patch them and point them, and magic can happen. It's wild.
Right.
Okay?
So gold, so if you're
a great start.
If this is a business tonight, if what we're saying, your eyes are as big as saucers and you're already thinking about all the people in your circle that you need to get this in the hands of. Gold or diamond is where we really want you to focus. So we talked a little about gold. Diamond is for the serious entrepreneur. It's 19 sleeves of X39. It's $1599.95. That is the most you can spend to get involved in this opportunity. And let's face it, you can't start any other conventional business for $1,600.
No way.
If you can, please let me know what it is, because
Yes.
we can't.
And that initial investment in your business, guys, that's all you have for 90 days, okay? You don't even need to get on subscription
For Diamond.
Diamond for 90 days, okay? So you have 90 days. When you sign a Diamond, if you come in as Diamond or upgrade to Diamond, the company allows you to upgrade. So let's say you start at Gold, you catch the vision, you want to upgrade to Diamond, they let you do that at any time. You just pay the difference and get the difference in product too. And guess what? They'll pay you $500 every time you sign a Diamond for the first 90 days at Diamond for yourself. You guys, sign 3 or 4 people, your business is paid for.
You're in the black.
And-
Some people are doing this within days,
Yeah.
right? And who cares if it takes you the full 90 days? So what? Who's
Yes.
in the black with the business in 90 days? It's unheard of.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, it really is. The other really important thing about Diamond is you've got plenty of products. So when you sign people, you can, as they're signing up, place a sleeve of product with them so they can get started that very next morning. There is magic in handing them a sleeve so that they don't have to wait that 3 to 5
Yes.
business days
That's-
for them to get their product. And then when their shipment does come in, they just say, hey, just kick that sleeve back to me when your product arrives on your doorstep.
That's
right?
why you need all the initial products. So you're placing and replacing with people. It's very important. If you have a flower store and you're out of flowers, you're out of business. So you want to have plenty of product on hand. And guys, we're going to be doing some recognition soon too. So stick around. It's really exciting to see how many people are advancing in rank. So remember this site. This is it team. This is where you learn how to do and what to do. This is it team.com. There's all kinds of sampling cards there, info cards and envelopes you can send out. There's a strategy to do this.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry if you don't know how to do this. There's a strategy. It's proven. We're not experimenting. Many decades and very, very successful people in the industry have collectively put this site together. So this pro strategy was built and put together for all of us to benefit so we can speed up time and help our friends win and not make mistakes and slow them down. So the time is to make your move now. Are you serious about your dream? This is hope for your future. X39 is the way, you guys. It is incredible what is happening for people, and we're going to reactivate their stem cells and we're going to reactivate their wallet. So don't be afraid to share both. I know some people are a little sheepish about that, but people are hurting financially and they're looking for answers for that. So let them decide.
Right.
You know, I'm glad Steve shared that side of it with us as well. So if you want to see how to put this together in a big way, next month in July 19th through the 21st, we have a massive convention right here in Orlando. Come visit. It's a fun time. Instead of buying, franchises and equipment and hiring more employees and going into more debt, every year we have to go to a convention once or twice per year.
Yeah.
So remember the importance of subscription so you're not spinning your wheels. Build this once, okay? Get everybody on subscription so their points accumulate. Points are dollars. So make sure that they get on and stay on subscription so people can advance and we can get people out of debt and get this money monkey off their back.
Absolutely.
Okay? So God bless you all. We want to share one of our favorite verses with you tonight. How about Jeremiah 29:11 tonight?
Yeah.
Right? I have plans for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that's one of my favorite verses.
Carl.
I know.
It's another
I need one close to my brain, right? But that's a good one, you guys. And he really does. He cares about us, and he doesn't have plans for calamity for our lives. So share with love in your heart, and watch what X39 can do for people. It's miracle territory oftentimes, and we're blessed to be a part of it. So thanks for your time. Sorry we went a little long tonight, but man, wasn't it worth it?
So worth it. Thanks for your testimony and all that you poured into all of us tonight. We're so grateful for you.
Yes, and this is recorded, so if anybody would like the recording, just let me know. Reach out to your upline, and we'll get a copy of the recording to you.
God bless you all.
Hey, good night, everyone. Love you all.